It's a difference between fans and bloggers, bro. Not a big difference. Not a big difference. I'm just willing to turn my camera on to talk about the shit I want to talk about. And that's really the only difference. My opinion don't hold no more weight than another fan who just like to make comments on Twitter or just watch the shit from home or whatever the case may be. But there is another difference, right? Along with the fact that I turn my camera on, if I say some shit publicly to a group of people or mass of people, it only makes sense that I actually justify some of the shit that I say in the process, right? So, let me let y'all know what happened. Shout out to New Era Podcast. I love my team. I think we work well together. We do a good job. I think we are respectable people in this battle rap culture. We don't just be throwing shit on the wall just to say it. Now, obviously, everybody got a difference of opinion, and you ain't going to agree with everything. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, whether you fuck with me or Ben or Freddie, whoever on the show, right? You're going to disagree with some of the shit we say. You ain't going to agree with everything. Well, we did our recap this past Sunday, like we always do, of the whatever event happened Saturday. Smack Saturdays, that is. And Suge, he didn't take too kindly to the shit we said, right? He told us to take a trip to the Frank stand. He got a little mad. Suge, first things first, bro. We not mad about that shit, bro. We don't feel disrespected. We good, bro. We still love you, big dog. We get it. Niggas get mad. And to be honest, this ain't our first time saying Suge be mad at some shit that somebody in media said to him. So we get it. We already know what to expect from certain people. So none of us is tripping. Right? So that happened early in the day. Like right after the content had dropped on YouTube. Now, if you want to hear what we had to say, go to the New Era Podcast channel on YouTube and go check that shit out. After all that, sometime around lunchtime, Suge posted a clip of him battling Danny Myers. Now, what I wanted to do was break down the clip line for line, but Caffeine probably gonna strike the shit and take it off my channel or block it from going up or whatever the fuck. So I ain't got time for that. So I did you one better. I wrote it all down. And we gonna talk. We gonna have us a little bar breakdown. No, I don't plan on doing this shit from now on. I used to do these shits, and them shits is so unappreciated, it's not even funny. So I don't do them no more. But for this, for the respect of my group, we gonna talk about it, my nigga. Let's rap.
I'm a steak, bad motherfucker, real cool. In the city streets, that's what God threw me. What a good die young in the cash room. Son of a preacher man. I'm a steak, bad motherfucker, real cool. In the city
You can call me Fat Boy Man. You can definitely do that. Your favorite blogger's favorite blogger, the best blogger that y'all don't really watch like that. Y'all niggas don't watch me like that. Y'all don't. I see the numbers. Y'all don't. But it's all good. I appreciate you rocking with me because I know you don't have to be here. Shout out to all the cousins that's checking in from New Era Podcast. Shout out to all my regulars, all the Wild Goons, the Lady Wild Goons. Y'all know who y'all are. All the regulars that's always in the comments. I see y'all, man. I see y'all. JT, Devin, Ruben, all of y'all. I see all of y'all. Jax, shout out to Jax. Head Lady Goon in charge. Y'all already know what it is. We here, man. We going to do a little bit of bar breakdown. But I want to start with this part first. I want Suge's point to be perfectly clear in the process of me doing this. No, this is not an attack on Suge. No, I'm not doing this to slander Suge. No, I'm not doing this to make him look bad. I'm simply here to go over the material. What Suge had to say was this. Suge said, listen, I'm not even going to sit here and act like I ain't lose to Danny. He said he's not going to act like he didn't lose to Danny. He's willing to admit that he lost, right? He said that his issue with what we had to say was that we made it seem like he didn't say nothing. That's what he said. He said it made it seem like he didn't say nothing the way we put that shit. Now, I'm going to reiterate something that I said before. This is my problem with all of this. Suge called out Danny for all this time. Suge was calling out Danny all this time. And my issue was always, yo, you can't come to the battle with material saying that you don't care about this battle when you was calling this nigga out. So what was the point of calling a nigga out if you just was going to get on stage and act like this shit don't matter or you don't care about it? What was the point of all of that? I don't understand. So again, sometime around noon, he posted a clip from the second round. This is the beginning of the second round. In fact, it's the first 1 minute and 45 seconds of the round. Now, I don't know if it's close to half of the round or, you know, most of the round. I didn't go back and check how much of this 145 was his round, but that's how much of the time it was. I wrote down the bars from that round. We're going to go over them shits right now. First line, my nigga. Danny Myers is a certified ditzy human. Ditzy? Now, if you don't know what ditzy means, it means silly, awkward, you know, maybe even weird. I guess people consider Danny to be weird, so I'm not really mad at the line. But the word ditzy, come on. Your obsession with battle rap and Tourette's. Danny don't have Tourette's. Now, I'm smart enough to understand that he's trying to say that Danny rap like he got Tourette's and it sounds like he just yelling random wild shit. But that's definitely not the case. You care too much about battle rap and it don't care about you back. Now, I put a star next to that one simply because to some degree, he's not necessarily wrong about that. There's a lot of people that feel like Danny Myers loved this culture a lot. There's a lot of people that will acknowledge the fact that Danny don't get the love he's supposed to get. So for that, I put a star next to that one because that one was actually legit. On Twitter, like, what's your dream match? Too much fantasizing. Okay, so you criticizing the nigga for interacting with the fans? Something that a lot of battle rappers do? That's supposed to be an attack? I'm not going for that. URL pay you the least and you give them free advertising. It's not free if URL pay you, period. That line don't make no sense. That makes no sense at all, bro. Too old to not be maximizing your wealth. You despising. You despising? That's not how you use the word despising. You can be despised by something, but that's not how you would use that. And we're not going to allow niggas to just say anything because to some degree they trying to use the right word, but the way you set it up just don't make sense. That's not how that shit's supposed to go, bro. This is the part when he start just trying to rhyme words. And the bad part is all these words is ending in ing. So he really just trying to rhyme a lot of words that he's not using correctly. You should be thriving. You're worth depriving. You're worth depriving? Your worth can diminish. Depriving is when you really need something or you need access to something and you don't have access to it or you can't get a hold of it or it's not there for you when you need it. But saying you're worth depriving is not, that's not it, big dog. That's not how you use that. The culture, you should get pushed out like birth arriving. Like birth arriving? My nigga, a baby is arriving. Like, a baby is coming. I guess technically you could say birth arriving. But come on, big dog. That's not... We're not going to try to get that off. Again, simply because we rhyming a bunch of INGs together, and these shits, the way you're using them don't make sense at all. That's the problem here. Your self-esteem is no reviving. So I just read you 4 lines in a row, all ending in ING. Your self-esteem is no reviving. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't understand what that is supposed to mean. Like, you saying Danny has low self-esteem and there's no coming back from it? Like, Danny is prideful as fuck. He loved this culture. He loved being here. He loved being involved with the fans. He loved being involved with whatever is going on battle rap related. Danny done opened the door for a lot of motherfuckers. To say Danny got low self-esteem is a reach as fuck, bro. I'm sorry. Then he said, don't be in denial like drunk driving. I mean, I guess technically that makes sense. I mean, motherfuckers who be drunk driving don't be wanting to admit that they drunk. But I'm not, that line is just, that's not a good line, bruh. Don't be in denial like drunk driving. You should care more about your family. That's the most precious shit you ruin. Now, I'll put a star next to that one. You should care more about your family, but that's any fucking body, right? Absolutely. Now, can I say that Danny is ruining his family? No, because I don't know enough about it to say no shit like that. And to be honest, everybody makes mistakes, bruh. Everybody don't have the fortune to have all the kids they ever had, to live with them and keep them out of harm's way, or keep them from doing things that make them look a certain way or give you a reason to judge their family. Nobody's perfect, but I still gave him the star and the credit because obviously that's an attack on Danny and the things surrounding his family. I get it. Especially if you remember the first round where he was attacking Suge daughter for the stripping and all that shit. And I didn't like that first round at all with the stripping thing. I wasn't fucking with it, but I get where this line came from. I fully understood it. So I put a star next to it. Then he called Danny a sicko. You 45. Okay, if you want to say he's 45 or you just want to call him old, that's one thing. And that's cool. The issue with that is, my nigga, in the third round, you said Danny was 41. So is he 45 or is he 41? See, this is my point. I done read through a lot of this shit already. Damn near all of it, right? And I'm not hearing nothing that's fire. Nothing that's like, nah, he was wigging. And I think it's because a lot of people just like, yo, but he was in a pocket in this round. He was flowing. Like, my nigga, are you listening to what's being said, or you just listen to how cool it sound and because it rhymed? There's a reason we break these bars down and then tell you who won or who lost. You cannot just listen to niggas rap because you a fan of the nigga. I'm a big ass fan of Suge. I'm never going to just let a nigga say any fucking thing and then get on camera and be like, nah, Suge, my man, he definitely got that round. How am I helping Suge if I do that? How are any of you helping anybody if you just say the nigga won when he didn't, or that some shit was fire and it wasn't, or you just biased and you just going to be okay with what was being said because you don't want to say this person lost? It make you uncomfortable to say they lost. I'm not that type of person. I never have. Go back to any of my old shit. Anybody that you know I fuck with, go watch those blogs from back in the day, 3-4 years ago, when I broke down bars and shit, and see if I just gave niggas credit for shit just because I fuck with them. We not doing that, bro. Then my nigga says, kill yourself like a terrorist. Yo, technically you can say that because there is times where terrorists will kill other people, do a bunch of wild ass shit, and then kill themselves. So I guess technically you could get that off, but that's not what terrorists are known for killing themselves. That's not the MO, my nigga. That's not how that's supposed to go. That's not how you play that. you got 9 kids and they got no inheritance. I guess you could get that line off. I mean, you don't know what Danny got in his account. I guess you're trying to say he don't make no money, so you ain't got no money saved up or for your money ready for your kids for when they become adults or to help them out in life or whatever your point is supposed to be with that line. But that shit, what do that shit supposed to, like, is any of this fire to y'all? Y'all listen to this, right? Is this fire? The next line is, take care of your kids. It's imperative. I put a star next to that one. That line is absolutely 100% facts. It's no debating. I'm absolutely 100% cool with that line. No problem at all. After this, the best you're going to get is a volume. It's no perks left. Okay. That's supposed to be a double. Volume and perks are obviously pills. Volume happens to be the name of one of the events that URL throws. But here's the issue. A perk is something that's like, it's not necessarily a given, but it's a little bonus. It's a little something extra from the company that they give you. Now, let's be mindful. I didn't write it down, but just before this, he was talking about Danny and never be on Summer Madness and all this shit. So I get where he was trying to say the only thing left, it won't be no perks left. But that bud just doesn't work. It don't work. You can't just say that just because volume is one of the events. It won't be no perks left. No. Then he said, yeah, you nice, but Smack don't give a fuck. You a oldie but goodie. You a oldie but goodie. Now, that was funny, and the crowd laughed. They responded to it. But the line before that don't have shit to do with him being an oldie but goodie. Like, you really went through all this shit that I wrote, right? And was not cooking. But the nigga was mad at us for saying what we said. Like, none of this is really saying much of anything, to be completely honest. You nice, but Smack don't give a fuck. You a oldie but goodie. How does that correlate to oldies but goodies? Anybody? Alright, we on the last 2 lines. Don't talk to me about gangbanging if you never banged on the set. I put a star next to that one. I'm not mad at that line. Hey, if you ain't out here in these streets banging and you never been in them situations, you're not going to tell me shit about that life, because that's not some shit you know about or how that shit's supposed to go. So I gave him a star for that one. Old Cash Money pick for a bandana be hanging from his neck. Put a star next to that one. That line was fire. Mind you, that's the only one I put a star next to simply because the line was fire. Not just because it was true or it made sense. That's because that line was actually fucking fire. And the last line was some shit about Danny look and act like a wrestler or some shit like that. That's a minute and 45 seconds worth of Shotgun Suge's material in the second round. Right? Now, if you're a battle rapper, I'm sure you're proud of whatever material you put out. And I'm sure some battle rappers willing to say, yo, I'm not proud of everything I wrote. Some of that shit wasn't good, but I just did it to get through a battle or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, Suge tweeted this clip as if to say, you can't say I wasn't cooking. Yeah, you got some reaction to some of the shit you were saying, but I counted one fire line in that round. And then I gave you credit for a few of the lines that actually just flat out made sense, and they was actually true statements. The shit about the family. Now, let's be perfectly clear. I realized at the end of the day that his intent was to simply just to diminish the image of Danny Myers. You know, you care about this culture and they don't love you back. You coming off like a weirdo because you're doing all this shit when a lot of people just don't respect you. You know, you're not there for your family like you need to be. I get that this was intended to be an attack. When you say it like that, it put it in perspective. But at the end of the day, when you gotta listen to the bars line for line and break that shit down, that shit wasn't fire, bro. That shit wasn't hitting like that. We just gonna keep it 1,000. We're not gonna be phony about it. So again, I get it for the niggas that want to say, yo, Suge was in a pocket, he was cooking, he was this and that, my nigga. But what did he say? What did he say? Y'all, let me ask you a question. Y'all niggas really think that we just be saying anything? Like, when y'all think when we get on New Era Podcast or when I do a blog, I really just watch the battle and I just go, who do I feel won? Like, without understanding the content, what just felt good to me? Like, what rounds did I just enjoy? Well, I caught the most in this round. No, I really was listening. I really analyzed what you had to say. And even in real time, I was sitting there saying, Suge not really saying shit. I get you trying to slander the nigga, but you're not really saying a lot. I don't get it, bro. I don't like the way this culture going where we just cool with whatever niggas say, and because we cool with that battle rapper or we like them, we just agree. I'm not that nigga, bro. I'm never gonna be like that. Again, this wasn't an attack Suge. This wasn't the slander Suge. But he tweeted this shit out like it was fire. And so the fact that he had an issue with what we said, again, we don't have no problem with that. That's what made me want to do this. I'm like, all right, I'm going to analyze what you saying is supposed to be fire and see what it really shake down to be. At the end of the day, to me, that shit was not hitting on nothing. And this is why he lost the battle. This is why we said he lost the battle and he got beat badly. Not saying a lot of shit. It's your man Fatboy, man, signing out the same way I always do. I respect the culture. I advise you niggas to do the same. What you gone? I'm out.
This is the new era.
Now, baby, tell me who you with before you come. If she hit, then you don't. That's the song. Do you really wanna fuck with me? Give me lit, then it's out. Spin a strip with my thoughts, beat the fit. Do you really wanna? Now when that Henny in the system, niggas get it started, then they wanna play the victim. I just hit the target, I be damned if I miss them. If I be your block and I be damned if I miss them. So who you? Hold on, get like me, too icy, retro, too pricey. I used to kill in high school, heard that you met at a wifey. Henny, my toxic, blicky, no boxing.